Hey, welcome back to YT Finance, and this is the channel where I went to business school so you didn't need to, and today we are talking about Sofi Technologies and Palantir Technologies. In this video, we will be analyzing 3 articles, 2 for Sofi Technologies and 1 for Palantir Technologies. Our first article is titled, Sofi Stock Alert, Did Sofi Just Acquire a Mortgage Lender? So we're going to be diving into the latest news updates regarding this very positive catalyst, which is moving the overall share price even higher up. Next, we'll look at where Sofi stock could be over the next year and what professionals think of this overall company. I'll also be adding my own educated opinion on this company and where my price target sits for the stock over the next 12 months. Lastly, we're going to analyze an article about Palantir Technologies to do some technical analysis, which you all know I don't preferably like, but some of you do. So we're going to talk about a very bullish trend that we have identified in Palantir's pltr stock, where they have reclaimed their 50-day moving average, which is very positive. So for more news updates on Sofi Technologies and Palantir Technologies, don't forget to go and annihilate that like button right now, comment your thoughts down below, subscribe if you are new, and without further ado, let's jump right in. Sofi Technologies, if you didn't know, is a fintech company or a financial technology company that offers an all-in-one inclusive digital app which gives their consumers access to financial services and financial products. Essentially, Sofi Technologies operates as a digital bank, and their ticker symbol is SOFI, ticker name Sofi stock. Now, if you've paid attention, Sofi recently popped in their overall share price by around 6%, which is quite odd. Now, the reason for this is that there are rumors circulating that Sofi Technologies has acquired a mortgage lender. So essentially, Sofi potentially has bought out another company to add to their overall portfolio. This wouldn't be much of a surprise considering that Sofi Technologies has already bought companies like Technisys as well as Galileo. We get this information mainly from a Reddit post which declared that Sofi, quote-unquote, acquired a top-rated mortgage lender and servicer. If you want to see that post from Reddit, you can just look on screen right now to where clearly this post signifies that Sofi has acquired a mortgage firm, and there is a plethora of bullet points that follow this. Now, as of right now, this hasn't been solidified. This could just be a completely random post on Twitter, but recently it's garnered some steam, and many people think this is actually legit. So let's dive into the details to determine if this is a legit post or not. But first, let's talk about how this would be fantastic news if this were actually true. As of right now, we don't know if it's actually true, but a buyout would be phenomenal considering that this company would vertically integrate within Sofi's overall corporate umbrella, making Sofi Technologies an even stronger institution overall. According to the Reddit post, this takeover or buyout actually went live on March 30th of 2023. However, other posts that were located over on Twitter claimed that the filing date was March 30th, but the effective date would be April 3rd. Now, this is going to be somewhat of a double-edged sword, because if April 3rd comes and goes, and there is no announcement, the share price most likely will move down, because this would mean that investors were looking forward to a catalyst that literally doesn't exist. However, it's also important to emphasize that these are just rumors. There is no substantial evidence from any reputable news source that have picked up this story as of yet. Now, we have seen sometimes where Reddit and Twitter have gotten it right. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean it's not true. However, I would still be skeptical. For me personally, I'm not sure if it's true or not, but I remain extremely vigilant, and I am going to wait until a reputable news source actually picks this story up. Some have even speculated on the particular institution in which Sofi allegedly has acquired, which would be Wyndham Capital. There is 2 main ways in which this buyout could have occurred if it occurred in the first place. The first one would be an all-cash deal. If you remember, as of the end of the 4th quarter of 2022, Sofi had close to $1.4 billion worth of cash, or at least short-term cash liquid equivalents, on their balance sheet that they could spend. Now, using this massive amount of cash, yes, they could have easily acquired a company, and again, it's not shocking if they were to do something like this, considering that Sofi has already bought up companies in the past that are currently under their umbrella, which has helped the company not only save money, but also generate overall revenue. But if we look closely, an all-cash deal may not be what Sofi would decide to do in this instance, considering that they have around $5.94 billion worth of debt. They need need that cash on their balance sheet, otherwise it's really going to screw up their overall accounting ratios. Considering that right now, SoFi has a cash to debt ratio coming in at 0.25, which is worse than over 50% or half of the overall credit services industry. Now, this isn't new. For a company which is growing and scaling, we could expect and should expect technology growth companies to take on large amounts of debt as they are scaling. On the other hand, if they didn't do an all-cash buyout for this company, if they even bought this overall mortgage lender, this would have had to have involved some sort of element of dilution, which is not good for long-term shareholders such as myself. For me personally, I only have a 4% portfolio allocation to this particular company, and whether or not they acquired a lending business is not going to make me buy more or even sell less. At the end of the day, acquiring a mortgage lender actually seems pretty risky to do, considering the current very volatile macroeconomic environment that we are in right now, on top of the fears of rising interest rates from the Federal Reserve, as well as investors' fear of the fundamental concerns regarding the overall banking space. However, there is also another side to this, considering that acquiring a mortgage lender right now would actually be one of the best times, because if you are a fundamentally solid company and you acquire a mortgage lender which is trading for extremely cheap, or at least you could get a fantastic price on, considering the macroeconomic volatility, this could actually mean that SoFi got this company for a steal if they actually bought a company. So let's go and talk about what we do know. Right now, we know that analysts from Wall Street and the ones which are covering SoFi Technologies have a consensus buy rating on this company. 7 professionals believe this company is a buying opportunity right now at $6.10, while 3 analysts say to hold this company, while none of them say to sell this company despite negative macroeconomic conditions. On average, the median price target stands around $8 per share, which would represent 32% potential upside for current investors. Overall, this company seems pretty strong, but where is this company headed over the next year? In 1 year, it seems that SoFi is going to be better off than it is right now. Even though SoFi has already garnered around 25% growth so far in the year of 2023, thus beating the overall Nasdaq Composite Index by a wide margin, making this one of the best investing opportunities in 2023. However, shareholders are probably still wondering, where could the stock go from here over the next 12 months? There's no denying that SoFi has been on an absolute tear, growing hand over fist. For instance, their adjusted revenue jumped to $1.5 billion, which would equate to a 52% increase from the prior year and more than a tripling compared to the revenues that they brought back in 2019. I also want to say that their membership has increased by around 51%, bringing their total members to 5.2 million. The CEO of the company even says, "We navigated unparalleled market volatility, macro headwinds, high inflation and increasing interest rates, and 2 unexpected extensions of the student loan moratorium by reacting nimbly and leveraging the diversification of our business to hit record revenue in each quarter of the year." He goes on to say, "The fourth quarter was an incredible end to an exceptional year," end quote. And I 100% agree with him. Despite what the market was throwing at SoFi Technologies, they just rolled straight with the punches, and they are still giving phenomenal projections, which should make investors very happy. The adaptability, resiliency, and overall stability of SoFi Technologies is unparalleled in this space for a new company in their respected market, especially as they have dodged the obstacles of this very uncertain economic period that we haven't experienced in many years. While SoFi's revenue and membership continues to grow, we really want to understand when they will become profitable, because remember, this company has been in the red in terms of profit for the last 5 years. Even recently, in 2022, the company posted a net loss of $320.4 million. However, there is good news here, because management right now projects that the company will reach a positive net income on a GAAP basis in the fourth quarter of 2023. Once this happens, and I believe it will, then the share price will ignite and the company will start to grow hand over fist at a very competitive rate. Nonetheless, shareholders should expect further volatility as we go further into 2023, 2023, you need to watch out for if this potential rumor about the acquisition is true or not, because again, if it's not true, this is going to cause the share price to go down on April 3rd. However, if it is true, the share price could go up temporarily before it pulls back and finds an overall support level. SoFi, I think, will exceed Wall Street's expectations for this year, and I can't wait for the end of this year where they become GAAP profitable. So overall, I would say this is a phenomenal news update for SoFi Technologies. But now let's talk about Palantir Technologies, because you all love when I report on Palantir as well as SoFi Technologies. Recently, Palantir Technologies, ticker symbol PLTR, which is a big data and analytics company that serves both commercial enterprises as well as government clients, recently reclaimed their 50-day moving average, meaning that their current share price is trading above the 50-day moving average of their historical share price, which is a very positive sign. As of right now, we don't know what is causing this overall positive trend in the overall share price, because currently the company trades for around $8.45. This is somewhat high in my opinion, and I actually think the company should be worth lower than this. I know that sounds odd for me to say because I do own this company. It makes up around 3 to 4% of my portfolio currently. However, I think that the future trajectory of this company is still very strong. I want to quote straight from the article, because if you're not familiar with the 50-day moving average or technical analysis, this will give you a great summary. It says, and I quote, Palantir Technologies Inc., ticker symbol PLTR, reached a significant support level and could be a good pick for investors from a technical perspective. Recently, PLTR broke through the 50-day moving average, which suggests a short-term bullish trend. So let's just take that top part from the article. Essentially, because the share price is trading over the 50-day moving average, the 50-day moving average is now acting as a support level, meaning that it's going to be difficult for the company to fall below that level once again. Essentially, this is a very positive update for Palantir Technologies, but let's continue. And I quote, the 50-day simple moving average is a widely used technical indicator that helps determine support or resistance levels for different types of securities. It's one of the 3 major moving averages, but takes precedent because it's the first sign of an upward or downward trend. End quote. Since the company has broken above their 50-day moving average, thus turning it from a resistance level to now a support level, we can now see that the stock price could potentially start to trend even higher upwards, because this is a very bullish sign. On top of that, it seems that Zacks rank has a number 2 buy rating for this company for the PLTR stock. Zacks takes into consideration recent positive forecasts for Palantir's upcoming earnings report, meaning that the bullish case only has been solidified for this overall company, at least in the short term. That's why investors need to keep their eye on Palantir Technologies and don't over-allocate yourself to singular risky growth companies. Always remember to practice proper risk management. In my portfolio, I literally own hundreds of stocks because I own ETFs, mutual funds, and index funds. Those are the things that make up the core of my portfolio. Sometimes I will venture out, such as Palantir, Tesla, SoFi, Berkshire Hathaway, and many other single companies just like that I don't mind adding to my portfolio just to take on a little extra risk so I can beat the overall indexes. However, I would love to hear your thoughts down below about SoFi's potential acquisition and buyout of a mortgage lender, and what you think of this very positive update for Palantir now trading above their 50-day moving average, which signals to investors that the company's share price could continuously go upwards. So with that being said, don't forget to go and annihilate that like button for more news updates on Palantir Technologies and SoFi Technologies. Comment down below some other companies you want me to report on, if any. Now, there's no guarantee that I will be able to report on those companies. I just want to know what you all are buying. Go subscribe if you are new, or become a member of this channel so I can continue to make videos just like this one, and I will see you in the next YT video.